soaring high, wrestling on weed.
What's going on, Wild Nation? It's your boy, Mr. HD. Welcome back to Wrestling on Weed, and we gonna do another reaction video, man. This time we gonna watch my guys over at Wrestle Talk. Love these guys, big fan of this channel. Adam Blampier did the 20 greatest finishing moves of all time. This time I'm gonna react to what Adam thinks are the best 20 and see if I could agree with what he says, and you guys can let me know if you agree with what he says or with what I say in the comments below. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you want to, and I appreciate you so much, man. Let's get right into it. 20 greatest wrestling finishers of all time. Let's do it.
Wrestling's the worst part about wrestling. If you're really honest with yourself, you only watch professional wrestling for 3 reasons: video packages before the match, the entrances, and the finishes. Everything in the middle is filler, Ernest Miller. And while I'm 70% sure I'm joking, I have to admit that when I first started watching wrestling back in the Attitude Era, the finishes were the main attraction for me. Leviathans of Ham hitting world-ending moves, sometimes from out of nowhere, sometimes with theatrics, sometimes hitting their opponent's finishes on their opponent. What a time to be alive. It never got old, and the pop that always follows a finisher was and remains a hugely addictive part of wrestling fandom. Celebrating the moves that make the crowd come unglued, here are the 20 greatest finishers in wrestling history. Number 20, the bank statement. Ah yes, submission finishes, the choice of the wrestling connoisseur. Some submissions look like they don't hurt at all, cough, STF, cough, but the bank statement looks like a spine ender every time. The hands
It's the
locked
camel
in front of
clutch,
the face makes
but
us feel the pain
one person's laying down
noses, and the torque banks can get on the back.
Yeah, that's a painful ass move.
Times,
yeah, that's yeah.
Look at that.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Tap out,
best.
Lord.
Number
yeah,
19,
that's
the
vicious.
double moonsault, and sometimes stupid,
The
complicated,
double
stupid
moonsault
is okay too. Step right up, the patron saint of silly wrestling.
The fuck
it's
is a double
Ricochet, who
moonsault?
never met a move you couldn't add one more rotation to. The double moonsault is absolutely spectacular. But
oh
it ranks
shit!
a little low for a few reasons. One, it's bloody dangerous, and two, because it's so dangerous, the person on the top rope often takes ages psyching themselves up.
Isn't that a 630 or something?
That being said, look at it so.
Oh my
pretty.
God.
Number 18, the big boot. More specifically, Test's big boot. For too long now, the move has simply been a count.
No, fraudulent list, fraudulent fucking list. Adam Blampier. What the fuck? The big boot, the big boot. The 20 greatest wrestling finishers of all. The big boot. You mean a kick to the face? What? So Sweet Chin Music is definitely on this list, right? So you got Sweet Chin Music and the big boot? No, absolutely fucking not. No, what? That's crazy. So the bank statement, how is the bank statement 20 in this 18? That's crazy. That's crazy talk, Adam. That's crazy talk. Adam, look at me. Crazy talk.
To an Irish whip. Charlotte does a fairly good one. Rhea Ripley does an even better one, but no one in wrestling had a big boot like Test. It was like getting jousted to death. They should have protected the hell out of that move and used it to make him a huge star, because it's like a shotgun blast and a cannonball to the face.
The bro kick is better than that. So, and so is Sweet Chin Music, like I said. So how is this on the list? It's stupid.
All in one. Number 17, the 630. Hello again, Ricochet. Aren't you silly? The one and only looks at your 450 splashes and then farts in their general
So it's
direction.
just the
Although
reverse.
The move has been made a lot more famous by Prince Ricochet, Puma Ricochet. The move was actually innovated by Jack Evans, who actually, looking at both side by side, hits it a little harder than Ricochet himself. The one and only hits it safer, but looks like he rolls off his opponent with less impact, whereas Jack Evans, splat. Number 16,
Ouch.
Black Mass. Some strike finishes are absolutely shite. Well, it's the Big Show, but some are damned iconic.
Wait, the WMD was a good finisher. Did you see his fist? It was as big as some people's face. Like, if you're gonna get punched by anybody and it be a finishing move, it would be someone whose hand looks like a fucking bowling ball, right? That, like, what was wrong with the WMD? What? This don't make no sense. I call BS on this list.
From Ox Baker's infamous Heart Punch to Kenji Muto's Shining Wizard to Nakamura's Bombardier or Kinshasa if you're basic. These were all long listed, but beating them all is Black Mass. It's an out of nowhere.
That's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites.
When Aleister Black hits it flush, you can see someone.
This should be higher on the list.
This is a more of a convincing knockout blow.
Maybe not of all time.
People with just one.
Oh God, yes it should be.
Number 15, the figure 4 leg lock.
After seeing him kick both of FTR's heads off with one kick, yeah, it should be higher on the list. Who can you do that to that clean? Whose finisher can you do that to? I know, like the AA, John Cena does. Like, nah, Black Mass should be top 10. Fuck that. Should be the second highest rated kick finisher on the fucking list, behind Sweet Chin Music.
Again, do you want to...
Sweet Chin Music better be on this fucking list.
Seem like a discerning wrestling fan? Slide those glasses up your nose and say, well, actually, a submission finisher requires a lot more skill. The figure 4 is one of those skilled submission finishes, and it's one of the most iconic moves of all time, being the move by the man in the NWA throughout the 80s. Ric Flair passed it to his daughter, who actually managed to improve it with the figure 8, and then Ric Flair passed it to The Miz, who perfected it, winky face. But no matter who
I was about to
uses
say,
it will
what?
always be greeted with woos, because like Rick himself, it's a wrestling art.
You got me, Adam. You got me. I was about to say, he perfected what?
Artifact. Number 14, the Frog Splat.
But no, that the figure 4 got to be on the list. Top 20 finishing move of all time. Even though it doesn't hurt at all if you actually look at it. But yeah, it's definitely iconic.
The greatest aerial finisher of all time.
Frog Splash, I
RIP,
approve. Top 20
just because
finishing
it's a
move of all
finisher
time.
Eddie
I
Guerrero,
approve.
One of the all-time greats. One of the move's strengths is how different wrestlers bring different things to it. When Kevin Owens hits it, it has a huge amount of impact. When RVD hits it, you marveled at the distance he could travel. With Montez Ford, with Eddie, you get his fluid,
just beautiful, perfect precision
for a damn good reason.
Yes.
Number 13, the Sharpshooter.
Yes.
The most over move in
Yes.
Canadian history.
Facts.
Bret Hart's use of the Sharpshooter was so iconic that every time,
because he put it on
WWE
perfectly.
the Great White North, someone
It actually
has to
looked
use
painful
it.
as
It's the
hell
Lord,
when
a
he put it
deadly
on.
maneuver that targets the legs.
The
and
Rock
the
should
back.
never do it.
Sharpshooter won not only
The Rock did the worst sharpshooter. Did anybody do a worse sharpshooter than The Rock? Leave it in the comments if anybody did a worse sharpshooter than The Rock. I think The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, that's one of his failures in pro wrestling, is doing the sharpshooter or Scorpion Deathlock or whatever that mess is he did where he twists somebody's leg and bent them backwards. It rarely looked like he was even putting pressure. It looked like he was just trying to take a shit on somebody's back. It was really weird.
only Bret Hart counts.
That's a sharpshooter.
Sting used it to great ovation as a Scorpion Deathlock. Natalia still puts people.
Natalia
away with
does
it.
a good
Shawn
one,
Michaels has
obviously.
a version that was so powerful. It
Shawn
once ended the match
Shawn
without
Michaels.
The opponent even submitting. Winky.
Hilarious.
Number 12, the spear. One of the most ubiquitous finishes in
Yes,
the industry. Edge
I
and
agree.
Christian both use a spear for a time. And
Everybody
it was
uses a
fine.
spear now.
Then you got the best of all time, Goldberg. He used it as a
Yes,
sort of
facts.
first.
Facts. Goldberg does the best spear. Don't come over here talking about Rhino. The Gore is the best. Get the fuck out of here. Goldberg had the best spear, period. You know what I mean? It's like Rhino is more like, I can't even say his was more vicious. Goldberg used to literally cut people in half with them fucking spears back in WCW. That shit, and he's even in his older days, he's still hitting the fucking spear perfect as a motherfucker. Like, so Goldberg got the greatest spear of all time. Don't argue with me, or argue with me in the comments.
Half of a two-part finisher. Bobby Lashley, who does a whimsical little forward roll with it.
Yeah, his
Reigns
is
does a bloody great one. I don't even want to
Yeah.
hear any discussion about
He
that.
does.
And a personal favorite, Rhino's Gore, which would reliably make an
It's
opponent
good.
100% full dead. Number 11,
It's good.
the Lion
Definitely
Tamer,
good.
the greatest submission finisher of all time, and I am not talking about the Walls of Jericho. That is a Boston Crab, and it is fine. The Lion Tamer is the
It's
Walls
different.
of Jericho's
Yeah.
terrifying Megadeth variant, and whenever it makes a
Yeah.
surprise appearance, it's like
God.
Christmas, but for next. If the move has a short
God.
Jericho can only lock it in on people who are
Damn
actually
it.
able to take
That's
it. Seems
so
like a relic you could
vicious,
say, but
bruh.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a move that's more convincing as a submission finisher in the entirety
Oh,
of
he's
wrestling.
stomping on
Look
his
at
head
that.
before he-
Horrible. Number 10,
Oh
the
my
Doomsday
God.
Device. There aren't too many tag finishes on this list because honestly,
That's just
we'd
so
be
dangerous.
here all day. But
Oh,
how do you
God,
leave
it's
the
so
LOD/Road
dangerous.
Warriors Doomsday Device
Whew.
off the list? Answer, you don't, or they'll find you. The delight of the fandom and the terror of the enhancement.
Yeah, it goes
industry.
on
The
there.
Doomsday
Gotta
Device
put the
saw many
Doomsday Device
scared
on
men
there.
flipped arse over tit for our pleasure, and I can imagine fewer
it's
situations I'd
so
least
scary.
like to be in than on animal shoulders with hawks smiling at me from the top rope. except
You
maybe
better
in
do a full
Steinerizer,
flip,
that
boy.
would also be a terrible time. Number 9, the Lariat. Now hang on, I know what you're thinking. A clothesline, one of the 10 greatest finishes of all time.
If
Yes,
JBL's
and I have
doing it.
4 key pieces of evidence. Exhibit A, Stan Hansen's Western Lariat, which is a cowboy taking your head off your shoulders. Exhibit B, the Buckshot Lariat, which is a cowboy taking your head off your shoulders with theatrics. Exhibit C, the Clothesline from Hell, which is a cowboy businessman carrying you in a shallow fucking grave.
So
and
vicious.
Exhibit D, the Rainmaker, a clothesline that turned Kazuchika Okada into an international megastar. Clotheslines, wrestling's silent killer. Number 8, the elevated powerbomb. Powerbombs can be deadly.
Elevated.
They'll jangle your spine with a bonus whiplash.
The last
cherry
ride?
as a garnish. Elevated powerbombs are when a wrestler gets their opponents up, thinks for a penny in
last
for a pound,
ride is
then
vicious.
raises them up a bit more before bringing them down for max damage. They're things of beauty, and for example,
Shield
see
spear,
the Razor's Edge, one of the most protected finishes of all time. Taker's last ride, which looks like it sent Triple H to meet his Jesus, and of course the Spirit Bomb, the sexiest move for wrestling's sexiest man. Number 7, the Tombstone Piledriver. This move would bloody kill you if Taker actually hit it, compress your neck and leave your spine looking like a shaken packet of Pringles, you know, like it did when
Scary
Steve
move,
Austin
man.
accidentally
Why
took
you
one
gotta
at
show that?
SummerSlam
I don't
97.
need to see
As
that.
such, it's also one of the fakest
bad
moves
memories.
in wrestling. No one even slightly believes Undertaker is hitting the move, or that Kane is hitting the move, or the Young Bucks, or Okada, but also absolutely no one cares. It's over and it will never.
All it takes is one, because you
punctuation mark to some of the.
You don't actually have to hit it, because the fans are like, if he actually makes a mistake and hits it, someone could die. So that's enough tension in the room. That's enough excitement. The fans be more happy when they execute it safely than actually dropping somebody on their fucking head. No one wants to see that. At least not me. Got to be a sicko.
Most iconic WrestleMania matches of all time, and it cemented its place in history. Number 6, the F5. And now for some very believable violence. The F5 is the world's sweatiest mountain, putting you on his shoulders and throwing you at the ground right on your tiny face. Like Brock himself, the move came out of nowhere and instantly rocketed to the top of the industry, feeling like it had been here the whole time. It's savage, powerful, dominating, and would be higher on the list if the F5 wasn't also indirectly responsible for creating the parody FU, which would become the most overrated finisher of all time. Except maybe the leg drop or the people's elbow. God, my mention.
Ooh, the leg drop and the people's elbow and the AA. Those are 3 of the worst finishing moves of all time. Like, how the people's elbow became a finishing move just dumbfounds me. If anything, after he hit the rock bottom when he done that shit, it should have woke them up. Like, I was out. Did you just elbow me? Like, what am I supposed to? Like, they never explained. Like, is he hitting them in the heart? Like, why is the elbow drop keeping people down after they just been body slammed and thrown over the top rope and had all these different things done to them? It was the elbow drop that did it. It was so stupid. The leg drop hurt Hulk Hogan more than it hurt the opponent. This motherfucker ain't got no hips no more. You know what I mean? Barely got a leg. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, man. The AA is literally a reverse body slam. It's like I do the AA on my 1-year-old son. You know what I mean? He loves it. So I don't even know. Yeah, I agree. Those are probably the 3 most overrated finishing moves of all time.
Number 5, the One-Winged Angel. Kenny Omega likes video games. I'm not sure if that was clear from the fact he named his finisher
the shoulder Michinoku.
Final Fantasy VII. Anyway, yes, giant nerd Kenny Omega has one of the most protected moves in
look
wrestling.
at it.
Literally,
it's vicious.
one of the greatest feuds in pro wrestling history was built around the move and
look
how if he hit it, it's game over. It's like the perfect
it's
flex
pretty,
on
though.
steroids. Both are slams that catch their opponent in an instant pinning situation, but while Mr. Perfect suplexes them, Omega nails them with a driver, spiking their shoulders down with a grueling swing. Number 4, the Burning Hammer. If you want to talk mega death moves that only a few people can take without an instant murder investigation, fewer moves are as infamous as the Burning Hammer. It's a reverse
scary
Death Valley
movie.
driver, emphasis on the death, innovated by Kenta Kobashi, where he gets you up for a torture rack before dropping you on your bean. It was unkick-outable until Brian Kendrick hit one on Kota Ibushi and he kicked out, and the internet was torn between marking out for a banned super finisher suddenly being seen in WWE or raging guaranteeing that someone kicked out of the thing. Number 3, the cutter. You can't make me choose between the RKO and the diamond cutter. You just can't make me. It's the second
number
greatest
3?
surprise finisher in the world, and no matter how
So
much
I
of a
guess I know what the
Goldberg
last
you
two are.
You can still eat canvas at a moment's notice. The unpredictability and tension.
I know what the last 2 are. The last 2 are Sweet Chin Music and the Stone Cold Stunner. If they're not, this list is broken.
Created by the move being able to strike suddenly and on anyone has been the foundation of Randall Keith's character for almost his entire career. The move deserves a Hall of Fame spot all of its own. Also,
Facts.
A special shout out to the greatest tag team finisher of all time, the elevated cutter, also known as the 3D. Number 2, the stunner. Has any move ever produced a bigger pop than a well-timed stunner?
Number
Genuinely,
2?
Austin ever appeared on WWE TV.
Really?
At no point did he hit someone with a stunner. That would be regarded as an instant heel turn. It's so perfectly designed for a pop as well. The kick to the gut lasts just long enough to get you excited before the stunner brings you out of your seat. Whether or not it's the coolest finisher of all time or was just performed by the coolest wrestler of all time is a debate you can have, but ultimately, does it matter? It's just...
Again, it's the same as the RKO. It's just he's sitting down and Randy Orton is laying on his back. Like it's the exact same move. So if you think Randy Orton has his move deserves its own Hall of Fame spot, then has nothing to do with the coolest wrestler. It's that the move is cool. You know what I mean? It's literally a sit down RKO. It's the same fucking concept. So it's crazy that they're back to back, but they deserve to be back to back. It's just a good move.
Just cool. And this entry wouldn't be complete without a shout out to the Eclipse.
Shout out to the Eclipse. Oh my God, I love Amber Moon's finisher. She does have one of my favorite finishers in pro wrestling right now. That shit is amazing that she could execute that move off the top rope. Like, it automatically makes her one of the best wrestlers in the world just being able to pull that shit off.
Ember Moon's top rope stunner,
Crazy.
Which is also utterly rad.
Crazy.
And number 1, Sweet Chin
yes.
Music. If you thought the stunner
Thank
should
you.
be here,
Thank
okay,
you.
fair enough. If you also think the super kick has been diluted by being a signature move for Dolph Ziggler, the Young Bucks, and many more, then I understand that too.
Yes.
But also, no, it's the coolest finisher of
all
time.
Facts.
Brutal, surprising, could be hit on anyone, guarantees a monster pop, has a great lead-in if Michaels decides to tune up the band. It's completely convincing as a match finisher. It is just the best.
The list was dicey at the beginning. Adam. There were some things in there I was like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? But once you got the ball rolling, man, them last 10, 12 was spot on, I think. I think you got the clothesline in there. You know what I mean? You got the sharpshooter in there. I thought the bank statement should have been a little bit higher, maybe. But I'm sure there's a couple that's missing. I feel like Daniel Bryan's finisher, the LeBell lock, could have possibly been in there. I don't know what you would have removed. He has some good submissions in there. You got to have the sharpshooter in there as a submission. That's probably the second most famous. I mean, it might be a tie with the figure 4 leg lock. It's the sharpshooter and the figure 4 as the two most famous submission holds. Out the sleeper hold, I guess you could throw up there. Then you got the B tier, like the camel clutch, because Sergeant Slaughter did it, and you remember the fucking video games in that era and different things like that. But when it comes to Stone Cold Stunner and Sweet Chin Music, top 2. They have to be top 2. Like, there's no question about it. The RKO, you know what I mean? It's questionable if it's number 3, but I don't see anything wrong with it being top 3. You know what I mean? Honestly. But like I said, it's the same concept as the Stone Cold Stunner, so it's not much difference there. But yeah, it was a good list, Adam. Like I said, it was shaky at first. It's crazy I never seen that video, but it was shaky at first. But then he got the ball rolling and got all the top finishers in history. I know people who watch New Japan and all these, they're like, oh, you didn't see this crazy move, this blah, blah, blah. And none of that matters. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't put the AA or the leg drop, because they were iconic moves, because the moves absolutely sucked. I don't care how iconic they were or how big of a pop John Cena or Hulk Hogan or The Rock get when he does the people's elbow. Those moves absolutely sucked. And it's not that they sucked. It's like they sucked as finishers. They're not finishing moves. Like, I feel like I would kick out of all of those moves. You know what I mean? That's it for this video, man. Appreciate you guys watching top 20 finishing moves of all time. Shout out to Wrestle Talk, my guys over there. Yeah, we'll see you in the next video, man. It's your boy, Mr. HD. Deuces.